Welcome back, crew. Today's workout is a 5K run or row. You choose. So, we recently did a 2K. Ideally, we go farther this time, even if that means doing a 3K or even a 4K if we have to scale back from that total distance. The warm-up's going to be a nice dynamic warm-up, so you'll need a lane, like 25 feet, or some version of a down and back will work just fine. Then after that, we'll do some more prep for our ankles and our hips, and then do some running specific drills that everybody will do. The first few drills are lower impact, so I think everybody can manage to get through those. And then, towards the end, we're going to get into some more dynamic running drills if you're doing the run. For the ones who are rowing, we'll kind of split off, and I'll have some rowing drills to do on the rowing machine to do instead, so that we're not just doing prepping for something that we're not even going to do today, okay? So, for that first part of the warm-up on that 25-foot lane, we're going to start with ankle walks. So we're going to start with inside, walking with our feet rolled inside. We'll just walk like so. Be nice and careful though. Don't push so hard that you actually roll your ankle, okay? So you roll both at the same time. Once you're nice and set, we'll take a gentle step forward. Then we'll go the other way. We'll roll the other direction. Same thing, nice and easy, heel to toe. Your knees, if they cave in a little bit, that's okay. That's why we're doing this, to put our body into a little bit of an awkward position so that if we're running and something happens where we tweak, our body's a little bit more prepared for that. After that, we're going to do a toe walk. So we're going to try and get up on top of our tippy toes as high as we possibly can. We'll walk nice and easy on your tippy toes. And then we'll reverse that by lifting our toes as high as we can, so we're just on our heels. Okay? If pulling up on your heels is a little sketch, that's okay. Just lift your toes as hard as you can. You can keep the ball of your feet down too. After that, we're going to do internal and external rotation walks. So what we're going to basically do is walk like a weird duck. So external toes are pointed out, kind of like we would for a sumo stance. We're going to try and walk with them like that as much as possible. So you're really trying to screw your heel forward. Then in the reverse of that would be to turn your toes in towards each other. So you're trying to screw that foot outways and then walk goofy that way. So this is kind of help. The rotation should be through your hip, not the knee, but this is going to help warm up some of those goofy muscles that you might need in case we get into some odd terrain. Okay. Next, after that, what we're going to do is 10 standing foot circles. So if you need to hold on to something like a wall or whatever, that's okay. But just with one foot out, we're going to draw in the air with our toes, 10 circles. We'll go both ways on each side, trying to make as big of a circle as we can. Then we're going to do knee circles. So knee circle, this one is some more of that weird movement prep. You can even grab your knees, pretend we're dancing. We're going to draw little circles. We'll go both ways. From the side, what this would look like. You guys can laugh at me a little bit. It's like that, okay? And then if you want to throw in some alternating circles, that is okay too, but that's confusing. Okay, after that, we have leg raises. So what that's going to be is, leg swings. You swing the leg from front to back or from side to side. If you need to hold on to something, please do that for balance. Start with small, gentle swings. Let the pendulum happen. And then from there, you can kind of start to speed it up and let your body turn and twist however which way it needs to. Okay? After those leg swings, we're going to wrist circles, just like we did with our ankles. We'll go both ways. We're going to go into arm circles. So arms reaching out, big and long. We'll start small, work your way to bigger and bigger circles. And we'll reverse that. Big reach, small circles going the other direction. Almost think about keeping your scaps stuck together while making these big, big circles. Boom. After those, then we have arm swing. So we'll go front to back, sideways like this, and then we'll go up and down. So we're trying to reach up as far back as you can this way, and then down as far up behind you as you can, but while swinging. Cool. After all that stuff, all that movement prep, now it's time to get into the specific warm-up. So, for these pose running drills, our first drill is going to be body shifts. This is just learning how to feel which direction your body wants to fall. So the whole purpose of pose running methodology is that we're using gravity to do most of the work for us. Okay, it saves energy, it's efficient, it's also safe. The whole point is that you're constantly just trying to keep your feet off of the floor, like the floor is lava. The less time you're on the ground, the better chance you have of not getting injured. So, what I mean by that is the longer and the only place you're really going to get hurt is on the ground. That's it. When you're in the air, you're not touching anything. So, it's nice and safe up there. So the point is that you're trying to constantly pull or keep your feet up off of the ground, opposed to stopping and smashing your heel and trying to push off of the floor. Okay? So all of these things are really the reasons why we're going to try to practice this as best as we can today, and from now on too for other runs. So, those body shifts. We're just going to practice slowly going to the balls of our feet. If you do tip over, that's totally fine. That's kind of the point, is to find that tipping point. And the goal is to realize that leaning forward is how we're going to help ourselves run quicker, because that's the direction we want to go, is forward. After some of those body shifts, we're going to do a drill called a fall and land. So the purpose of this is getting used to our foot landing right underneath us on the ball of our feet. Okay? Your heel can touch the ground, it's okay, but as long as we're landing forefoot or front of the foot first, that's good and safe. Okay? Usually when we land with our heel first, it puts our foot out in front of us, and then it jolts up our leg through our ankle, our knee, our hip, our back. It causes lots of problems, okay? Especially longer distance runs. That's tons and tons and tons of repetitions of your feet just pounding. So the more softer landing you have, the more or less sore you'll be. So you'll practice a couple fall and lands on each side. So you'll fall, land, check where your foot is. Is it underneath you? Is it super far in front? Is it too far behind you? Are you going to keep falling? After the fall and land, we're going to do a pose, fall, and land. So the pose is a running pose. You see lots of running figures drawn this way. This leg, the leg that is down, is soft. It's not locked out. Nothing should ever really be locked out. The other foot, I'm just lifting it or pulling it right up underneath my hip. Knee is pointing the direction I want to go. From this pose position, you're going to do the same drill. You're going to lean and catch yourself. You'll practice that a couple times on each side. Fall, land, pose, fall, land, pose, fall, and land. Once you kind of got that timing down, what we're going to do is go to the wall and do a pulling drill on the wall. So you have your back up against the wall. You're facing forward. You're going to pull into a pose position and alternate, like so. The faster you go, the more you can mimic your actual running pace. And you're going to try to get closer and closer to the wall without kicking it. If you kick the wall, that means you're probably pulling the ground or swinging too far out behind you. Ideally, again, we're just trying to levitate when we run while alternating our feet. So, this drill gives us some feedback to tell me whether or not my heel needs to come up straighter or not. After that drill, this is where we'll kind of break off. Everybody will run through those first 4 things. Then the rowers will come to the rowers, and the runners will keep doing these next 3 drills. So I'll run through these next 3 running drills, and then go to the rower. You guys can skip ahead if you need to. These next 3 running drills, we're going to call the bounce and fall. So you're going to bounce, very similar to the jump rope, like single under. You're just hopping here in place. Knees are soft. I'm landing on the ball of my feet. Then we're going to add those body shifts into it. We're going to lean forward just a little bit, and then slow down and catch yourself. So I'm leaning forward, pull up. We'll do that down the length of your 25-foot section, okay? So you're just kind of getting aware of what it's like to move while dynamically. So that's the bounce drill. Basically, what we're going to do is take all of these things and put them together and go to the wall and do a falling wall drill. So what this is really going to check for is whether or not you're kind of like pushing into the ground. So again, we don't really need to pull or push off of the ground, because then we're just using a bunch of energy to go just as fast as we might if we fall and catch ourselves and let gravity do all the work. So this wall falling drill, you'll place your hands just about shoulder height, get into a lean. We're leaning at the ankle, not at the hip, okay? We need to keep that midline nice and tight. But really what you're going to do is you're going to lean forward, get into a pose, and you're going to switch. You're going to practice this. If you start to shimmy upright or get closer to the wall, then what that's telling me is you're probably pushing off of the ground instead of trying to pick your foot up very quickly. After that, we're going to go into the alternating bounce and fall. So this drill is essentially running. You're going to be bouncing and then start alternating your feet. This is very similar to the alternating step for jump rope. Same thing as the bounce and fall. You're just going to lean forward, slow yourself down. Ideally, you have a longer section than right here too, but here we are, alternating bounce, fall, slow yourself down by leaning back or standing up taller, lean forward, and you'll just kind of take off magically, okay? All right, so after all those running drills, we should be ready to go for that 5K. Hopefully you guys have a nice safe space to do that run at. Try to avoid doing it in the dark without reflectors and all that kind of stuff, okay guys? Be safe. So, I'm going to get into the rowing drills. It's really actually one drill. It's called the pick drill. It's picking apart the rowing mechanics. We're going to do it in reverse. So, the row is essentially legs, hips, arms in that motion. Legs, hips, arms, and then in reverse. We're going to do that. We're going to pick those things apart in reverse. So, we'll grab your handle. Make sure your feet are set and your dampener set, but we're going to start with our legs extended and laying back slightly. We're going to start with just pulls. So we're pulling this to our sternum, just above our belly. Elbows pulling back. Keep your shoulders active and sit up tall. After that, once the elbows extend, then we can start to add the hips. So it's hips and arms now. So you'll lean forward, lean back, and pull. Arms, lean, lean. So it's about timing. If you start to lean forward before your arms are extended, you're going to get out of pattern. You're going to even maybe start to round and arch in your back, which will lose a lot of power. So after that first drill, arms only. The second one, hips and arms. Using my feet, trying to press them into the pedals of the rower. Now I can use my legs. Legs, hips, and arms. Legs, hips, and arms. So that's really the 3 parts of the drill. It's very quick, very easy. We're just practicing that. Run through it a couple times. So just practicing the pull with the arms. you'll feel that they don't really have a lot of power by themselves. Then the hips and the arms, very similar to our Olympic movements, right? It's hips first, and then the arms can go, and then finish with that full stroke where you get to use the legs. Okay, guys, hope any of that made sense. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. Thanks.